But I actually have learned over the years so much different styles of breath work, and I facilitate it for large groups in a very calm setting, and we do very calming, grounding breath work. But it's just to give the average person that doesn't really go to yoga or go to the typical workshop the opportunity to just slow down, basically a float tank, but without the tank, and connect with the breath so that they can cultivate a relationship with the breath in their everyday life. And I'm thinking of your basketball example. My friend trains Sugar Sean O'Malley, one of the top fighters in the world. He's his breath coach and movement coach. And Sean is always doing calming breath work. And when he goes out to do probably the most extreme sport, he's very zen. And he really attributes a lot of it to his breathing practice. And I bet he would really love floating. I actually don't know if he's ever engaged with floating, but I'll have to ask Brandon if he does that as well, and maybe even have Brandon start referring his clients to the float centers.
I know a lot of people in the MMA world and boxing world who are using floating, both as a recovery tool because it does help post-workout, with muscle
Mm-hmm.
tension and just helping to, I think, calm some of the inflammatory states that come with an intense workout. But I also think it's helping people in the sport itself. It's helping enhance their performance because so much of your performance is affected by stress. And if you're able to stay calm in the midst of that stressful moment, you have an edge on your opponents now, a major edge. And I think that's why the best athletes in the world are using this. I mean, look at it. Novak Djokovic, arguably one of the best tennis players in the world. Every place he goes, you'll see pictures of him at the nearest float center floating. Tom Brady owns a float tank, right?
That's
So
awesome.
Steph Curry, we already spoke about. And so you're starting to see this pattern where, some of the best athletes in the world are honing their practice by using float therapy. And once again, it's an amazing environment for that. But I think it could translate to a whole slew of other people that aren't necessarily in that upper echelon of their sport. Like you were talking about, first responders would be an ideal example. Talk about a high stress job. Talk about a job that's physically and mentally demanding, one of the most on earth. Every day you're encountering potentially traumatic events and having to really react with heroism in the face of that trauma. So you need to be at the top of your game if you're a first responder. And the day in and day out toll of that job could cause burnout, could cause things like PTSD.